When was the last time y'all went to church?
Ooh.
Last time I went to church was
Funeral?
a few months ago.
Okay.
A few months
For
ago.
what? Easter?
Nah. It might have been for Easter.
Bro,
It might have been for Easter.
Is Easter like for the pastor and the congregation? Is that like this is like the recruiting fucking like everybody? Y'all got
Easter. I think Easter. They say the two is Mother's Day.
Okay.
And Easter are like the Super Bowls.
Of church.
Of church.
Pastor, we need.
I thought it was hands down Easter or Christmas.
Yeah, I thought
But
so
they
too.
said Mother's Day because that's when all the black moms be like, "Could you come to church with me, baby?" And so it's like,
And now we're gonna be like, oh,
right,
since
so-
it's your day, I guess.
yeah. So Mother's Day and like how we were saying how black women are the most goers of church. Then so that's why it be packed because everybody bring their whole families.
Dude be at church miserable.
Real talk. I think we have the answer to save like black church and like really build and increase the numbers like crazy. Nigga, just shorten the time.
Nah, I mean,
I think it's that easy.
I honestly do.
I think it's that fucking easy.
I do.
If it's not your whole, it doesn't. If I can watch the game, if I can go to church
And watch the
make
game?
it back in time to watch the game,
yeah.
I'm in, dog. That's it. That's all I need.
What you mean? We in the church at 8? We out by 9?
That's it.
We out it. We good.
I can watch the pregame.
So my dad, when we were younger, my dad wasn't a church guy either, but he tried to get us into church at one point. And I think it was like this military church he started going to. And so it was more of a mixed church. And I remember that church was an hour long, and they gave us some fire donuts. I was like, I can come to this. I can be here. I can do this.
You
So
gotta
an
do
hour,
it like the Planet Fitness, how they give you the pizza on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
What if they just gave you some Hennessy on
instead of the red wine?
Yeah, you just leave with some Hennessy.
All right, little shot of this.
little cocaine.
They should do the real red wine. No, but I agree with you because our church growing up, we used to have an 8 o'clock service, which is about an hour and a half, and then the 10:45, which went to the nigga got tired. And I used to, when I got old enough to make our own decisions, and I got my license, me and my brother would hit 8, we out.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want to be there all day. Like, and I think that is a big problem, especially for men on Sundays, want to watch football with a huge problem with the black church. And I always felt like, even as a human, I feel like some people like the performance. You know me, I'm not a big, but two, I'm like, at what point is it for the word of God and is it for you? Now you're just grandstanding, bro. We got the message an hour
She's
ago.
about the pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we got the message an hour ago, and now you the performative aspect and all that, you grandstanding to me. Like you doing, this is for your glory. Like this is not what you were trying to say, the point you were trying to make, you made.
It's arrogant.
You made 30 minutes ago. All this is not necessary, but then you get people getting hype, and it's like, so I'm like, I'm not here for the show. I go to church for the word. I go to church, well, no, the choir. The choir's dope. I go for the music, let me get my word, and I'm out. I'm not here for the show.
Not for the bitches ever?
No, actually, no. Nah.
A lot. That's why some dudes be going. I think that's why there's that last little bit of men that still go to church. I think it's for the women. I think that's one of the main reasons why it's like. Man,
Well, everybody that we
got
went
some
to high
bad
school
ones there
with,
still, you know.
Yeah, everybody went to high school and all went to the church, so it was really see your friends too.
Yeah, I mean, when I was going to church in North Carolina, when I would go visit like my grandmother and stuff like that, it was like we had to go because grandma said go, right? We were only out there for like a month or two anyways. And then two was like all the kids that your age, that's how you met them too.
Yeah.
For us being out of town.
Right.
So us visiting, it was like, all right, you get to meet some people there, and now you can go play with them afterwards, stuff like that. And then also too, it was girls. It was like you went there, we were 14, 15, 13. You meet a cute little girl there, you start talking a little bit. But it was just like a lot of pastors do. So me going to church somewhat recently, I've seen old pastors and I've seen young pastors, and I feel like it's such a weird thing to me because I'm watching some of these young pastors, and it's like I don't know if they're trying to be too cool, like they're trying to resonate with us too much, wearing the Jordans and the skinny jeans and the ripped in their jeans.
Yeah.
And it's just like
It's weird.
And then you're using the now lingo. I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's just right now I'll be like,
Yeah, it's weird.
But I do feel like I still somewhat have a little bit more relatability to them, to where when I go and I hear like an older pastor that's in their 50s or 60s or whatever, you know, I'll be sitting there, I'm like, man, this is like, their delivery is kind of boring to me. So now if it is over an hour, I'm like, dog, this is tough to listen to. You know what I'm saying? But so I wonder, is it a thing with young and older pastors? It's like, all right, that's why they're bringing in a lot more quote unquote youth pastors or younger looking pastors, because it's like the older guys are just like not relating as
To
much anymore.
rebrand.
Yeah.
I remember, when we were coming up, we had Youth Sunday, which is second Sunday. So it was the youth choir, the young pastor, blah, blah. And that was the most lit. That used to be the most packed of the month.
Right.
Was Youth Sunday. It would be packed in there. But I didn't mind the older pastor, because I felt like church is one of them things I don't like when it's too, like you said, it's
Don't
weird.
Try to be a different thing.
Yeah, I don't like when you're trying to connect. It's weird to me. Like you look like you said, the youth pastor that
Pandering.
comes in like, "What are you kids up to?" Like it just looks
Yeah.
like an after school special to me. It's
like,
weird.
Yeah, y'all lit, ain't y'all?
Yeah, and
It's
I'm like, nigga, no. It's like when you're a kid and your parents are trying to relate. Like
Yeah.
I want a certain,
Yeah.
distance
And
in my
respect.
church. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the even with the music, when it's too R&B-ish, like, or you took an R&B song and changed it, I'm like, no, this don't work, bro. But I don't want the. Oh, dude, that's boring. I don't want that either. So I felt like Kirk Franklin was like the peak of like what I want out of my church music.
I think
he did
probably
it perfectly.
He did it perfectly in my person.
He took it like, this is still fun, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
That was a good mix. And then we had a very good youth pastor who was like, this is church, but also here. I like the balance. I don't like when you're trying too hard or when you're too old, because then it's like, I'm out. And I going back to what Gary said, I agree. Just shorten it, because in white churches, they be in and out.
Hour
They
and a half,
in and out because they
tops.
getting to the damn point. Us, we're always extra, and it's just like
Honestly, I don't understand.
don't need it.
Why that hasn't been addressed?
Oh, it's been
addressed.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
like,
just don't
in a
care.
real way.
I think it's ego. I think it's just like, this is
I
my
do too.
church. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I
You're
do
gonna
too.
come. You're gonna pay this money, I'm going. If I'm feeling myself, we doing 2.5, 3 hours today. But I do think some people also enjoy. All right, if they've probably been quote unquote sinning Monday through Saturday, they're probably like, yo, I need a little 2, 3
Extra
hours
sauce.
in church. Yeah, a little bit of
Give me
extra.
a few extra sauces.
Yeah.
Got a lot of nuggets.
Because imagine if church was 30 minutes, dog. If church was 30 minutes long, that like a sitcom, that should not even that's commercial. So word is like 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Songs make it 30
No, 30 minutes too
like
short.
it.
30 minutes too short.
But
an hour is enough.
But also motherfuckers is getting dressed up for the occasion. So
Right.
you wanna be in there. Like
But
I need
at
to be in here at least an hour.
At least an
If
hour.
I did
Yeah,
all
for this
this
outfit,
work to
yeah.
get dressed and shit.
But I also think another thing too, I think what pastors are doing a bad job of is, well, they're going to cater to their audience. So for that old lady that's in the front, she has nothing else to do but church. So she's the one saying, "Take your time, pastor. Go ahead." She ain't got
speed
shit.
up your time, pastor.
She ain't got shit. He doesn't. This is why it hasn't changed. And now that I'm talking it out,
Yeah.
they don't care about us.
Right.
We are not their target audience. Black men, fathers. I want these old ladies. I want these mothers, because they're the ones that's going to make the family go. They're the
Yeah.
ones that's going to be like, "You're coming to church with us." If it was up to dudes, we'd be like, you know
Most
what I mean?
churches will be empty, bro.
And so they was like, I don't
Sure.
care about his unhappiness because I got to get to her.
Yeah.
Because she's going to make everybody go.
She's my target audience.
And,
That was
and,
my biggest
and
thing.
they're the one that's like, take your time. Like, obviously, there are some dudes who love church, obviously.
Yeah.
But a lot of dudes, while loving church, also be like, hey.
I think a lot of-
kick off at 10, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
So
I clocked that early though. I clocked
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
even as a kid. Like when people be like, you need to kind of judgmental towards people who like or somewhat like losing control of their kids, or their kids are starting to be a little more rambunctious and cause a little more disruption. I'm like, nigga, we've been in here for 2.5 hours. What the fuck do you think
Right.
this fucking tiny 4-year-old is gonna do?
Right.
You think I'm gonna sit here, just sit still for 4 fucking hours? Like what the fuck do you think what the fuck do you think this child is gonna do? And you judging my parenting?
Yeah.
What the,
we had children's church in ours, though.
Yeah, they would
So
change.
up to age 12, you could go in the back, and they had their own little
Okay.
thing.
They
own little thing
made
going.
it.
I had
well,
to sit next to my mom.
Yeah, nah,
Well,
we
at
had
the
the whole
one in North
thing.
Carolina-
Take them
used to go to.
elbows, nigga, and take them pensions.
The one in North Carolina we used to go to was, I think, like 30 minutes. Everybody's in this church, and then after that,
Yeah.
the kids under 12 will
Yep.
go to the back for
Okay.
like the
Okay.
hour or whatever it is.
Right.
Do it there and then come back for the last half an hour.
We didn't come. They picked them up after it was over.
So we had to come back out to end service off.
Because how our service went was, choir starts off, they march in, do the song. Then there's the devotion, the praise team, that stuff. Do your announcements. Choir does 2 songs. Pastor, done.
Yeah.
Just at the 8 o'clock service, everything was faster. It was just, and the pastor's message was in the long, same message. And that's why I was like, I know it's grandstanding because I just watched you, because on second Sundays when we had to sing, we had to go to both services. So I'm like, I just watched you do the same message.
You cut it in
in
half.
45 minutes. Why is in this one, is it
did
an
the Late
hour and a
Show.
half?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Late Show, baby.
That
the
doesn't
stretch.
make sense.
I get the stretch. Yeah, you're like, this is Saturday second
doesn't
show.
make
He was trying
sense.
shit.
I get
I'm gonna try this song. See if I can.
Yeah. So I'm like,
I got
that's-
a new bit that I want to
Yeah,
work
yeah,
on.
let me
Yeah.
work on this bit, y'all.
That's where a lot of my frustration came from, because I watched you do this in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So I know this extra 30 that you put on, this extra 40 you didn't need.
Yeah.
And so now I'm frustrated because I'm like, I want to go.
Man.
So I think that's a lot of dudes' beef with the church.
So
It's
you think that is the cause of the disparity between male attendance and female attendance?
I think that's
at
one
church?
disparity.
I think one of them.
What's the biggest one?
The,
you
the
think?
biggest one is, I know because I've heard it say it, women get into church and they will take pastor's word over their husbands, and that causes a clash in the house.
Agreed.
Because the husband, father is like, I don't give a damn what that man told you.
That was
in
a
this,
show.
In this house,
Yeah.
this and that. And it becomes a real
Yeah.
divide of like, you going to respect me or you going to respect him?
Yeah.
And
And
then-
if we're married, especially, and even I guess I'm not sure. I can't quote the Bible 100% because I don't know it that well. But I think on some type of level, your husband's supposed to come, or at least like your spouse comes, first or whatever. So if you're putting another man above me in that sense, on top of this is your word this is your word that you abide by. You go by this. And
right.
you put another man's word above
Right.
mine. That's going to be.
And
an
I've
issue.
heard that argument with men who go to church, be like, well, if this is the word that you're living by,
Yeah.
it says this about your husband. You're not doing this. It says honor your husband. All these things about
It
your
says,
husband.
Suck your husband's dick.
Yeah,
You ain't-
it say all these things about
you
your
ain't
husband.
sucking dick.
You ain't doing that, but you want to tell me, and I've literally seen this with
Oh, for
couples.
sure.
You say this part of the Bible, but it say this part, your husband, you don't do this shit.
Too
So
much-
don't tell me about
Yeah.
this other part if you ain't doing this shit.
It's too much hypocrisy, and I think that's why also when men kind of see that, we see that, and that's frustrating to us. It's like you can't say this over
Right.
here and then act this way over here. It's just like we rather just act this way over here. Then we rather just be
Right.
this over here because I'm
Don't
not about
pick
to-
and choose when it suits you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
My question would be, how come we as men haven't come together and sort of like lobbied for the pastor to sort of tweak the message a little bit? Like, hey, I know you're gonna say what you say, but make sure you include like whatever way you the
I mean, I've seen
creator, you
I've seen
creative.
pastors do that.
Make sure you throw in there like
Yeah.
suck
But he
his
don't
dick a
care
little
what y'all
bit.
think. Again, you're
Yeah,
not his
yeah.
target audience.
Yeah, but I'm saying, and I also think
He
don't
wants
think-
you. He wants you fighting that house,
wants you to
so you
fail,
can come
yeah.
back and be like, we
Yeah.
got to go to counseling with the pastor.
I also don't think we care enough as men to do that, to get together and be like,
I know,
we
but
gotta,
I'm just saying
we got to talk to the
hypothetical.
pastor. I think we just like, I
Yeah,
don't-
let's get together.
yeah, we don't care enough to lobby together. To
Well,
be
that
like,
would be funny though.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
If you just had dudes with
funny.
pitchforks outside the church,
Yeah.
talk about sucking my dick.
Tell her to suck my dick. Tell her to suck my dick.
I mean, but here's the thing. I've listened to, like, sometimes, like, my wife, she'll send me some things, or she'll be like, listen to what T.D. Jakes said. And T.D. Jakes has been, at least, I don't know, because he's getting older and he's about to be out the church, or he's kind of like leaving out a little bit. I think his daughters are starting to kind of come in more or whatever. But this dude kind of been talking about like a lot of that type of stuff. Hey,
Yeah.
you need to please your man more, which that's what you're not doing.
yeah.
And he's been more on that tip. And I've seen, even I think one of the last times I even went to church with Janelle out here, one of the pastors is kind of talking about, like,
Where y'all be going?
I think it's is it One Church? The one that's like on La Brea?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like a theater.
The boys been asking me about church, so I want to go to one. But I
It's-
think I'm gonna go to Erica Campbell's church because it's closer to us.
Yeah, that's close. This one's in
Yeah.
Hollywood. So I mean, this one, I mean, it's a cool church to go to, but it's just like, it's theatrics for sure. But I will say, some of the pastors being there talking, and then you'll see when they kind of get on there, low key, they be kind of getting a little bit on their Kevin Samuels, whatever you want to call it, like on it's like kind of you gotta cater to your man. You gotta do these things to your man. You see how women get really, really tight,
Right.
And then it's like.
But
And they kind of back up like, we ain't doing that.
So here's the thing. That's going to cause another fight in the house. Now, the pastor said this time, but now it don't matter. Stop picking and choosing the shit you want to do and then throw that in my face. And that's just causing the rift. And that's when dudes be like, fuck it, I'll watch. I just wanted to watch the game anyway.
Yeah, because even from those sermons that I've seen, a lot of times they give both sides. They be like, they'll go into like They typically how it works is like they cater to the women first.
Right.
So they be like, fellas, you got to do this for your girl, da 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 for your girl, and they over there yes, and they slapping hands, they all
Yes and yes. Yes and ah!
they almost pass it out. Yes, he's right. Ah. But then all of a sudden when they go like, but also you have to do this for your man. All of a sudden they like. And it's just like, to me, the hypocrisy in that is just crazy to me. How he just literally said, yes, you have to be catered to too, but you have to also cater to your man. Yeah. And I think right now, I don't even know. It's so funny to see how the relationship podcast world is kind of going into church a little bit, and they're having these discussions in church, and it's still a battle even in church, which is like, all right. And the pastor's using scripture. It's like using, this is what it says in verse whatever.
Right.
And it's just like, nah, we ain't doing that still. And as a dude, we just kind of just like, hey, we just want you to see that we told you so. We're not being assholes, but we have to get love too. We can't just only give it out.
It's just always gonna be a divide, man. It's just
look, man. I look at stuff like, you know, and but I will say this: when I see the married people in the church or the people that are couples in church, and that stuff be kind of going on, I do see them smile, kind of hug. Even Janelle, when she'd be looking at me, she'd be like. He's kind of like, because I think what kind of goes on with church too, as a dude, and maybe it's our ego, when the pastor says something that we said already to you, and now you go,
and now you take it,
woo!
Nigga.
We be like, nigga.
I've been said
it, but now Pastor such and such done said it. You understand? You comprehend it now?
Somebody said something to me the other day when I was talking about women being nerds. If you saw that video,
nerds?
Yeah, like who's a bigger nerd? Women, because women like read more, blah blah. They do better in school, yada yada yada, and dudes don't be caring. And somebody said women are better with authority figures. And they said that's why they do better. They do well in school. That's why they enjoy church. That's why they do better at work. They don't have a problem. And I was like, well, what's the difference between an authority figure and their husband or whatever? They was like, what degree do you have in husbandism? They need a tangible thing.
Bro.
They need a tangible thing that says, well, this person is a professional in this, so then I'll listen to what they say. And then also, not only that, I'm going to get rewarded for, like, if I do this in class, I get good grades. Or if I do this in a job, I get it. So there's like, what's the reward for being a good wife, per se? You know what I mean? There's no tangible, I guess.
That might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But if you think about it logically, I get it. Like it's stupid, but I get it.
But to me, I would go, but what do you have in wifeism that makes me want to listen to you and follow you in a sense? So it's just like, it doesn't make
that's
it.
just how he was just saying, that's just how they're wired.
I get it. Because even a lot of people talk about, like, that's why what I've seen from men is like they have an issue with sometimes the pastor, and they'll have an issue with the boss, right? Whoever your boss is. It's like you go to work and you listen to your boss, but when you come home, you want to listen to me, and then the excuses were like, well, are you paying me? My boss, well, I'm getting paid. It's just like, technically I am. I'm paying for most of the bills here. I'm paying for the children. I'm paying for us to go out on dates and vacations. So yes, I'm paying for this.
It's just an authoritative thing. I don't know what it is.
So they want structure outside the home but not inside the home.
I guess. I don't know.
Could that be just something where they are naturally, physically they're weaker, so they have to have a certain level of obedience naturally because they're weaker.
But I have to go back over the comments, but a lot of them, because I was like, why y'all like that? And a lot of them were saying, like, you know, how you're taught to keep up, you have to excel in school or whatever, where dudes can fuck. Also, the way we're wired, as far as men would rather like trial and error some shit,
or even learn a trade.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about just in general. Yeah. Like, don't tell me what to do. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Women don't mind being told from a figure what. So, but in your relationships, you're like, she's like, I don't trust you to figure it out. You gotta show me that you know what you're talking about.
But I think that's where we're probably on the men's side we'll get frustrated. It's just like you'll either listen to somebody else that a degree doesn't mean you know what you're doing. A degree can literally mean you copied off somebody, you memorized some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like. Like some people forget so much stuff after they get their degree, it's over with. So it's like when somebody's telling you this on this end, that doesn't even mean they know what the hell they're talking about. You know, I think the frustrating part is just like, dudes are just like, yo, we're all, when it comes to being a husband especially, we're all trying to figure this shit out together. Right. And it's just like, why would you marry me if you don't trust me in that aspect anyways?
I think
that's how I would look at it too.
I think in like, when you talk about like in the workforce and in the world, there is a sort of structure, a sort of trajectory to where like, oh, okay, if I do this, and I get that,
Right,
that.
right, right,
In
right.
relationships,
Same
we
with
don't
school.
have a syllabus
Right.
to have
and
to
no
be
thing
in
that
like
you're striving for,
to level
yeah.
up into
Right.
like so there's no
There's no
real
marks to hit.
template.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
marks to
there's
hit.
no
just
if you wash this many dishes, you get
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
if you suck
Yeah.
my dick this many times, you get this.
Well,
Right.
maybe we should create that. Maybe we should create a structure where it's like, hey, when I hit here, I'm this type of husband, and you got to start doing this for this type of husband,
Yeah.
and then go on and so on and so on.
And then maybe that make husbands level up too. Like, oh shit, I gotta beat this to
get
be
here.
to maybe.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, you do
It
this.
might be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you could attach a level to your marriage, like,
Yeah.
we've been married 10 years, level 18.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're on level 18.
I think some people, but I think it was.
And it would kick into people's competitiveness.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
like we've been married 13 years. They on level 18. We ain't but on level 14. We
Nigga,
gotta step
all-
our shit
yeah,
up.
Y'all ain't doing shit.
but now it goes. But then it's so many arguments that would cause because it's like now what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
Are you actually
We
do you
compare-
actually do
yeah,
it for
right.
love or the
Right.
competitiveness?
It
You
don't
know?
matter. Just do it. Just suck the dick.
But what if
I don't care why you
what if
sucking
what if
it.
the competitiveness, like your reasoning is trash, but what if the competitiveness was making your relationship dope though? Like the only reason why, like, let's say you have two former athletes or whatever, and that's
Yeah.
all they know. That's all they know how to function. And if that is making them rock, fuck it.
Yeah. Who cares?
Let me ask y'all this, and I guess this is, we can go back to the topic, but do you think that athletes that get together like they know they know each other better than the average person? Because when I see athletes get together, I feel like they be having like they have a good ass
they be
time.
clicking.
Their relationship be like this.
I think it's not that they know each other better. They just understand. They have a different mental. All right, where most women are at mentally, and where most men are at mentally, like as far as how they attack problems, whatever. Only female athletes or military
Yeah.
can tap into that. You know,
The
no
type of dog you
excuse.
gotta-
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
have that certain dog that you have
Yeah.
in you. Whereas the average woman would just be like, don't, I can't,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
athletes typically do well because even when they're having problems, they can attack. It ain't no big deal to be like, well, fuck, we gotta fix. You know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
just go after something, solve it, move on. Like
when I watch,
it's
like-
it's a challenge.
Yeah, because when I watch like athletes, especially if they were like college athletes, they ain't got to necessarily be D1, but they were
Right.
college athletes, the man and the woman. I feel like both of them are just like you said, it's kind of like it's a little bit competitive, but it's just like, nah, like we understand like if there's a problem, even like on the course, like if there's a problem with this defense, like, we got to get past,
Right.
we got to beat this team. These are the issues how we got to get past it. They're like, okay, we got to understand this and get past it. Whereas like you said, people just go, I don't want to.
Or they're just incapable, or they
And
can't
even-
handle the. I think
the pressure, or whatever the case.
the military and sports forces you to face so many challenges
Right.
and then overcome it that you're just used to it. So you don't get overwhelmed.
Right.
I've
Yeah.
been in this situation. I
Absolutely.
handle pressure.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
So when it's when a woman's done that, pressure doesn't discombobulate her anymore. She's like,
Absolutely.
all right, bet. Like the kids are out of control. All right, fuck it. We're gonna do this. Like
Yeah.
your challenge becomes your new because you don't play sports anymore.
Right.
So now your
new
family is your new
sport, whatever,
challenges.
yeah.
Yeah, it's your new. So you're like, all right, how do we do this? How do we get better? So yes, I think athletes and women who were in the military, yes, I do think they make better spouses because they know how to face challenges. And whereas the average person walking around is, I say, fucking not to just miss anybody, but most people are weak, like mentally. And I'm not even saying it like it's most people. It's not even like
Men or women.
it's not like they're even beneath. That's just
Yeah.
the average person is mentally. They just can't do it. They
You
just
think
can't
the
handle
weaker
it.
is kind of soft, and it's just like they're just like, or they just like lazy to not want to do the work. It's like, I don't want to do this. It's
All right, like for example, me saying that is going to trigger everybody but athletes and military. Me just saying the word weak is going to trigger everybody. That's not.
Could you say, okay, athletes, military, but also like anyone who is, I would argue like creative as well, because that brings on another set of challenges.
A lot of creative people though can't even handle look at what we do for a
Okay.
living.
I
Most
think
people
it's
they're all
some-
creatives and they be breaking.
There's a lot of L's though.
They be breaking.
I think it just depends on how you take the L's too. Like I think like the comedians that we know that, but like they look at L's as a win because they go, okay, cool, I learned something here.
Right.
Like I lost, but I learned something here. I think they're probably similar in that aspect. And that goes for men and women. But I think like it might not just be military and athletes, but I do think that's a good start when you're saying that. It's just like, all right, those are the two that stick out immediately.
Because you're just used to it.
Because even when I was at Big Sky, and I was doing like some of my military stuff or whatever, right? and a lady came up to me, and she was I forgot what she was in, but she was in one of the services, and her husband wasn't. But in talking to her, I saw her mentality, like she was just like she had a dog. She was like a dog. Like she was just like, even with the kids, she was just like, yeah, some with the kids, he be kind of, I'll be like, man, just tell that little motherfucker this. Like, oh, man, why you complaining for? Like, it was just like, I saw a different energy, where just like, she was like, she didn't take no shit. And I don't know if he might have been possibly even the beta in that situation, or whatever you want to call it, but like, she definitely wasn't like, she wasn't no hoe in the sense of like being punked by anybody.
Right. Well, I think one thing that happens too, and this can go both ways, men or women. I think if you have one in the house that did one of the others, the other person will start adapting their personality. I don't know if it's out of survival. I don't know if it's out of, so like.
Who's adapting?
Yeah.
The person that wasn't the athlete, or because I've noticed, even in my relationship, Cotty has definitely gotten tougher.
I agree.
She's just adapted to, it's either like, and I think there's a certain level of empowerment that comes with that. That'd be like, oh, I can handle this. I can do, like, I think it's certain, you have a certain, not just confidence, but just like, everything's going to be okay.
Well, does this go back to your original point of like, structure and leading outside of the household? They do want that. When you show a strong, like, I guess, strength and like, all right, I'm the leader. I'm this. I'm doing this with 100% confidence. And they look at you and be like, okay. So I'm kind of learning from
if
this.
It works.
Yeah.
I think you have to still have a track history of like, okay, you've proven this point.
Right.
Which would be, I guess, your husband degree.
Yeah.
If
I'm 80 to 90% accurate, I need the respect.
If you've proven it, then it's like, all right,
yeah.
Bet. Usually it does work out, so let's rock.
So what would you say?
So if you're taking L's, though.
So what would you say to a guy that's taking L's then? If he's a guy that's like consistently, like he's trying to lead, but he keeps fumbling the lead, and he keeps like taking L's and leading you in the wrong direction.
Tuck your shit and take it, nigga. Like, tuck your shit and take it, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. She gave you a chance. You kept fumbling. Even coaches got a tenure. We ain't been in the playoffs in 9 years, nigga. You fired. Like that's
man,
you fired.
That's terrible.
You fired. You ain't brought no championships. We ain't even made a playoff run. Nothing. You fired.
I mean, I do feel like women will probably look at it that sense. It's just like, yo, I let you lead a few times.
Yeah, I tried.
And I tried, and then you keep fumbling the ball. So either I'm going to take the lead, or I'm going to find another man that I feel comfortable in taking the lead.
Yeah.
And is that fair?
What's an example of that? What does that look like?
What do you mean, like in a relationship of like a guy just like, I mean, whether he's making decisions for the house and it fails, whether it's financial decisions and we lose money.
Well, like investments, bad investments?
It could be investments. It could be just not handling the money correctly. So not necessarily investments. Like you're not paying the rent on time. You're paying the rent late. So now we got fees on top of that. You're supposed to go get this stuff for even done for like a family outing, and you got nothing done for the birthday party, and you're supposed to get all this stuff led up for that, and you did none of that stuff like you said you don't keep your word in the sense. Unreliable, not keeping your word. Yeah, that'd be probably a good view in that.
I think in those situations though, and if anybody's intelligent, you just play to your strengths. So if she's better at handling the money, nigga, let her handle the money. Or if you're better at, like, just play to whoever's got the strengths in whatever thing. Just delegate that job to that person, and y'all should be fine. I think there comes a thing where like a dude will be like, "It's my house," but you're not good at that, bro. So like you said, he fumbling all the time, and his ego is like, "But I'm the man." It's like, "But you suck at it."
Yeah, but that's not like that's an overgeneralization, because most issues are case by case. So
most issues are
you run the house
financial.
But in this particular instance, I would like to do this. I would like to go this direction. And you're like, no, we've already established that I run everything. I manage everything in terms of operations in the house. And you're like, yeah, but I just want this one thing.
Then if a person can't break on that, then that's not.
Yeah, so
that's ridiculous.
But those are the conversations.
Yeah,
it's like, we can create a dynamic of like, this is how things are going to be run. But then people, will have instances where where they want to pivot and go a different direction just for a moment. So like, we can establish that this is the way that we will have our whole shit organized, but like it doesn't lend itself to like those conversations of like,
but
what about right now?
It would be absolutely ridiculous on your part to never
Yeah.
to never do that.
But
though.
and that comes with, you know, wielding your power for good. And I think, you know, some people have a difficult time with that when they come into that sort of power. It's like, how do I wield this for good, and how do I still be like empathetic and giving? Because I think the worst thing as an adult is if you like paying your own bills and you know you're functioning at life and yourself, but you have to collaborate with another person who can tell you no. It's like, how the fuck can you tell me no? Like,
I was just used to not being told no because I did my own thing.
yeah, I do my own thing. We're both functioning adults in society. So that's the thing. That's the weird thing about compromise of like, wait, you're telling me, like, you're saying no, you disagree. Now we have to like come like be on the same page and find like commonality. It's like, nah, motherfucker, I want to do it this way. I'm doing it this way.
Well, I think that's why.
I mean, that's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's why you need to probably have a lot of those discussions before you fully lock in, whether especially into a marriage. It's just like having those discussions, being like, all right, now that we're together, like, how should we function? Because it's like if like I said, when Janelle and I collaborated and finally got together, I want to say collaborate, that's a weird word, but it's like we finally got together. But we got together in a sense, right? And it's just like we maneuvered, like her being a germaphobe neat freak and me just being regular, I guess. It's just like
Messy.
All right. It was like
Nigga trying to downplay it.
Yeah. Me being a normal
Me
functioning
being
member
regular.
of society. Just me being a civilian, really, you know.
Most people.
Yeah, but it's like there was like now we had to have a sit down and discuss. We're like, look, I don't necessarily do things this way, and I'm like, oh, I don't do things this way, and it's just like, yo, it's like, you know, my thing was just like we talked about this before on here, where it's like, when it came to the dishes, if somebody cooks super late at night, it's just like, look, man, we both tired as hell. First thing in the morning, I clean the dishes up. It's not even a lot of dishes. Don't worry about it. And it's just like, no, the dishes need to be done before anybody's head touches the pillow, and it's just like.
So where do you meet in that?
So then you go, well, I'm not folding. I'm not doing them then. Then that means you can do them if you want to. But then now they do them, and it's just like you ain't getting no pussy for 2 weeks because.
See, those are the real instances that
Right.
like I want to like discuss because like this is like the real shit that happens.
Yeah.
Like I had a issue, the other night or the other morning or whatever where there's still a thing where I'll be disciplining my son, you know, in the way that I discipline him, and she'll just come out of nowhere like, what's going on? It's like nothing
Yeah,
that
nothing
concerns
that
you right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is between me and this nigga,
Yeah.
you know? So, and it's just that oversight, that constant like micromanaging energy to where we have to have a discussion in that she's like, well, we need to be able to agree on things and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, that would be ideal. But if we don't agree on it, we just need to have a baseline level of trust
Right.
in one another. And
Right.
if I do things my way, you trust that I have the best intentions and that
Right.
I'm not here to harm our children.
Right.
And I trust you to do things the way that you do them, but they don't have to be the same.
Right.
And we all come into situations like, oh, everything has to be the same. We have to be synergized on a certain level. It's like, no, you just have to have a baseline level of respect and trust for your partner. Because I was like, at a certain point, it's starting to feel like you don't trust me with our son. You think that I'm gonna cause harm to him because I made him eat. I made some cream of wheat, and there's always this thing of like the nigga don't want to eat. So at a certain point, it's like, no, you need to try it. You can try it, and if you don't like it, you don't have to eat anymore.
Right.
But you will be trying it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
right.
I did. That was like, you will be trying. It's like I didn't like that you like shove blah 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 in his mouth. I didn't like that. I was like, first of all, that's not what I did.
Right.
Second of all, like, because he had like cream of wheat on his chin.
But he's a kid though.
No. But he's putting it on because he's trying to get her to
yeah.
come downstairs
Yeah.
and intervene. I'm like, you don't understand that the nigga is gaming you.
You're right.
He's doing all the antics so you can come down and be like, what's happening? Why does he have cream of wheat on his mouth? I was like, because the nigga's being extra.
Right.
Because he know you're gonna try to come fucking rescue the situation.
Nah, this nigga Gary was like,
I'm like, nigga, eat the fucking
Eat the cake out of me. Eat the cake. Eat the cream of wheat.
But no, it'd be like shit like that where I'm like, yo, dog.
so he's good then. He knows. He's
Oh,
like,
he's full on.
Yes,
like,
they be knowing
bro,
that shit.
The nigga
Oh, man,
knows.
that's
He
so-
know. Okay, he's so fucking smart that anytime he gets in trouble, like anytime he's like being disciplined, he'll tell you he needs a hug. If he senses that you about to raise your voice, he be like, Daddy, I need a hug. I need a hug, Daddy.
Let me diffuse this.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
he's like that
Yeah.
level, bro. The emotional IQ of these motherfuckers these days
Right.
are like,
yeah, it's quick.
and he'll say shit like, you need to be more patient with me, Daddy. Like, I never said no shit like that. I never said no shit like
I
that
wasn't
at
even
3.
allowed to say no shit like that.
You need to have more patience with me, Daddy.
But that's something he picked.
At that age.
But,
At that age, bro.
he picked that up from somewhere.
Yeah.
He picked that up
For
from either his
sure.
But
mom
he's
or the
using it.
daycare,
He's
and now he's using
using
it. He
it.
knows how to use
For
it.
sure.
But yeah, but it's what's weird in that dynamic too. What's even more.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. I would have got thrown across the room.
Yeah.
I didn't even have that in my vocabulary.
At that age, no. But even at like 10, I would have said that.
Anytime.
I would have been
Yeah.
like,
And even though it's not wrong, sometimes like
Yeah,
but it's
you're
like-
right.
yeah.
But,
But
I
nigga,
think
stop throwing blocks at my
Right,
face. What the fuck are you
right.
talking about?
Like-
Be more patient with you.
Right, stop
You're
throwing blocks.
launching blocks in my
Right.
face.
right, stop. I always tell my kids, I'm like, you want to have a good day or a bad day. If you do the things that I ask you to do, I'll do everything that you want to do.
Yeah.
So we can have a good day or a bad day. It's your call. I'm not making these calls.
Yeah.
It is your call how the day is gonna go. If you do what you're supposed to do, bro, we gonna rock out. We gonna play games.
Yep.
We gonna turn on the PlayStation. We gonna do all that. If you do what you're supposed to do.
Let me ask both of y'all separately then. Do you feel like you've had more good days and bad days with your kid? Was just like, man,
It's not even close.
tons.
It's
Yeah.
good, more good than
it's
bad?
95-5.
Yeah.
You know
Same
what I
shit.
mean?
Yeah, when it's just me.
So
But when she enters into the scenario, then it's a it's still cool.
Yeah.
But it's another hurdle because now I have to explain what I'm doing, not only to them but to her, and get her approval
Got
to
you,
do
got
to
you.
continue.
Does she have
doing
any
the thing.
brothers?
It's another step.
Does she have
She
brothers?
has one brother, but he was like kind of like
So-
doing his own thing.
And then I think there's several things that's happening because I don't go through this now. Now she's just like, be a dad. But we used to do this, and I think there was a lot of clashes with one. She had all sisters, I had all brothers.
Yeah, she had all sisters.
I'm like, you've
Yeah.
never been a man. You've never raised in a black house. So there were those things where it's like,
That's
I'm
it.
going to do certain things as his father, and you just gonna have to take that shit. But she
Same.
couldn't get it.
Yeah.
We have girls, it was my
Yeah.
mom, you've never been around this much male energy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Whereas
you do
1000%,
not know how
1000%.
to handle this.
1000%.
Whereas you had a woman, because your mom was still in the household for a very long
Right.
time, so you still had that feminine energy in the sense where it's just like this is how mom kind of does.
Well,
things.
no,
It's
but
like
I also learned from my dad, who, as much as a hard ass as he was, my dad was very good at balancing the tender, like how
Yeah.
Tony be talking about the tender moments.
There's
So
a
this
line.
nigga would fucking, full on, like over the top sometimes.
Yeah.
But also, come
Very
on, y'all, let's go get ice cream for no reasons.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
take you to your first. This nigga took me to a Raider game every year on my birthday. Like,
Yeah.
or he would, certain stuff. He would just come home like, I got y'all this jersey. Or whatever. He knew, especially now that I'm a dad. You know when you fucked up, or when you went.
Over
Maybe you
top.
didn't have to go that hard.
Yeah.
So how do I come back with the extra? My dad used to hug and kiss us so much where it was annoying.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, nigga, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was doing that to be like, I'm not just this hard ass.
Right.
Yeah.
I just have to do this because I'm raising men.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would love to. I tell my kids all the time, I would love to just play all day.
All day.
You guys don't allow this. You and your mama.
Yeah.
Y'all don't allow me to just be. What was that, Boys in the Hood? He was like, we ain't the ones killing each other.
Oh shit.
So I'd be like, you.
I want to get old just to have that moment.
Oh, yeah.
Nigga, just them niggas.
And I even told Cody, I said, sometimes I feel like it's a little unfair that even though I said I was okay with this role, I didn't realize it was going to be me doing
that much of
100% of the structure.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what, and that's an interesting thing too, in that I think women become obsessed with sort of the imagery of like what a marriage is and what love is. So they're gung ho on being on the same page. And then I think once you reconcile with the fact that no, we're not going to be on the same page. He has this is his role, this is my role. And now she just lets you become that and
Yeah.
have that. But then it's all on you now.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was telling, because I said that, it's like, I don't mind being the bad guy, blah, blah. But like, with me traveling so much and stuff like that, I was like, I want to be missed, but they're not going to miss me if
all you do
shit,
is
daddy's
discipline.
gone.
Yeah.
Let's fucking, we can
Yeah.
wild out now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And she like jokingly is always like, well, you're our structure. I'm like, but my nigga, like, I can't be your parent and they parent. And I'm like, cause you're off the rails if I don't I'm like, when do I? And then I got into a deep psyche thing, and then I realized the reason why I think I'm coming to this point, I realized in my whole life, I've never got to be the reckless one. ever.
You always have to be the
I was the
responsible
oldest
one.
child,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I became a husband and a father. I've never been the person to be like,
I smell a spiral.
I can do whatever I want.
I smell a spiral coming.
And
Younger brother
so
life, baby.
I had
smell a
a
bender.
I had a mentor where I'm just,
Cancun.
cause for me, like I said, I'm very why. I'm always trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And so when I'm sitting there, I was just doing it when we were on the road. I was just sitting in the bed and I was just thinking, as I was telling you, like, what the fuck? Because they got back. Well, I'm looking at the camera. It's a school night. Why y'all just walking in the house at this time? So I'm like, yo, I'm texting back. I was like, I shouldn't have to parent when I'm gone, yada, yada, yada. So then I went down like, why is this bothering me? Like, why? And then I realized, oh, because I'm a little jealous that I never got to be the one to be like, I'm going to be dumb as shit or whatever, reckless, whatever, and somebody else will fix it.
Nigga said dumb as shit.
Well, not to her, but like, just, yeah.
I get to be fucking retarded.
Yeah, retarded. Mr. Trail.
But it's like, yeah,
Oh,
you get it. Like when
shit.
you were, as being the younger sibling, I was, my brother was thrust, and I had to talk about this in therapy about like why, even though my brother and
Can
I
you talk about it here too?
Yeah, but I'm saying in a sense, I was gonna say it, nigga. Just let me.
Oh. I didn't know you could talk about it in therapy and here.
Of course, but when I was talking to my sister, but it was like why my brother and I used to clash a lot when we were younger, and how I felt like he might even hated me at some point, where he annoyed me a lot. My therapist is like, bro, he got put into a role as an adult like at like 7 or 8. And it's just like he didn't ask for this. He wanted to be a kid, and he has to be an adult. Like at a young age, he's watching. He has to take care. He has to feed you. While you get to go around and be like, I'm an idiot, and just throw shit and break. I'm the one breaking shit around the house. I'm the
Right.
one that's like, I lost some shit. Now he has to find it because he's gonna get in trouble because he let me do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was one of those things I had to come to realizations. It's like, oh, okay, he didn't. And this is why I always feel like most older siblings in most cases, not all cases, but in a lot of cases, a lot of older siblings have more structure than the younger sibling. It's like my brother's the same way. That's why he's an engineer. He has a lot more structure. When you talk to him, he can have some fun, of course, but for the most part, he's just like, nah, boom, 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 boom. He has itinerary. He has things he has to do. He has his shit locked in. Versus me, my brain is all over the place a lot of times. Now it's better, but it's just like when I was a kid and even a teenager, it's just like, I'm gonna just kind of live on the wild side here a little bit. Like my dad was literally like, he never worried about my brother having a bunch of kids on the side and having a bunch of kids. He was like, Keenan, I don't need you out here. I know you're going to be out here putting the shit, her. I don't think he even had a discussion with my older brother.
Him, her. Snowfall.
Yeah, but it's like, I think he probably had a discussion with my brother like maybe once or twice, but with me, he banged it in my head multiple times. Anytime I would leave the house, Keenan, I know you're going with an old girl tonight. Use a condom, nigga. 'Cause I know how you be. I know your ass. I was like, what?
Jesus.
And I was out here, but you know, it was what it was.
But being cognizant of that helps me parent Keelan better.
yeah,
Like
I think it's a
if
gift. too.
Kendrick's doing some shit, I'd be like, Kendrick, you need to blah blah, because I'm not gonna put all this pressure on him.
Yeah.
To be older, to be responsible. Like I'm on both of them. Like y'all need to be. It's your own individual life, your own individual, yada yada yada. Because I was just like, I thought about that the other day, and I was like, why do I be so irritated at this shit? And I was like, it's a part jealousy of, oh, y'all get to just walk around and do and I'm always got to be like, what's like that the it's a viral video right now of when a woman's walking with her man. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah.
And so they're walking. It's over the top. It's dramatic, but he's walking in the store. He's like, all right, this guy's here. I got to make sure, blah,
I
blah.
saw that,
And she's like, making my way down. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how everybody around me gets to be all the time.
Yeah.
And I always got to be like, check the perimeter, blah, blah. And I'm like, sometimes I get tired.
Yeah.
I get tired of doing that. And I just want to be able to sit down and think about nothing and be whatever and not have to worry about it. And not just when I'm gone, I understand you're holding it down when I'm gone, but when I come back, I'm still doing cleanup. I come back home and I'm like, yo, where's
You gotta
such and such,
you,
and
and
then-
you have to make up ground.
Yeah.
from all the shit.
And I'm like,
that's
what
been,
happened?
Yeah,
You know?
chaotic. Now you gotta come
Right.
back
And I'm like,
restore
bro.
order, and that's extra work.
Yeah,
I get.
So you were saying before when you kind of went on your thing after talking about like coming back and having to redo all the stuff that's been undone, and when you went on the road and you came back and you was like, yo, this not gotta redo everything back at the house, like
Yeah, not necessarily like undo. That's also like a really interesting thing because it's you almost kind of reach a place where there is no winning. Like it's just like, okay, there's gonna be issues somewhere, There's gonna be something to complain about. So I'm on the road. There's a complaint like, oh God, I wish you were here. I wish you were here. Like, when are you coming home? There's that energy. And then you get home, and then it's like, no, don't do that. No, don't do this, that, and then, like, don't help the way that you normally help. I've been doing this on my own for 6 weeks. I got my whole system. Like, then what the fuck am I doing here? So it becomes one of those things of like, okay, now we gotta, which is, and it's all fine. It's all just, it's all natural. Like you get accustomed to your own, like you build your own routine, and then I come in and now I'm sort of interfering with the routine. So now it's like, okay, now we gotta fucking reconfigure things. But the example that I was talking about was, I guess, my son had been sleeping in the bed with her, and then I come home, and it's time for him to go to bed, and she kind of just throws it out there very subtly, very gently. It's just like, he was, Jory's been waking him up, so I've been letting him sleep in the bed with me, like, while you were gone. And I was like, okay, but not anymore. Not anymore. I'm not any goddamn more. Like, so she was kind of like, felt the way about that, but I was like, no, I mean, that's not the standard that we're setting. That's not gonna become a thing. Right. And obviously, like, last night was a shit show. He woke up like fucking 8 times, just like for no reason, just saying shit, so you just got to deal with that. I'm like, well, we just got to deal with that. I'll wake up when I don't give a fuck. Like, he's not sleeping in here.
Yeah.
So,
and you already had him trained to not sleep in there, and then trained to a point.
He doesn't sleep. No, yeah, he doesn't sleep in a bed with us. Like normally, he does not. So this is like a new development that I wasn't aware of. But I mean, it is what it is. But the nigga's not sleeping in here now. I'm trying to fuck. He's not sleeping in here now.
I'm laughing because I wasn't aware of, nigga. That is my.
When are we doing it?
Nigga, when you are out the loop in a house that you like, what? When did this become a thing? Oh, this is what we do now?
Yeah. I leave for 2 days and this is a thing now?
When was this discussed?
Yeah, I mean, those are the things that I'm like, man, like, that I'm not looking forward to as a parent, to where it's just like, damn, like, hopefully we're on the same accord for the most part. The whole sleep training and dealing with the child in that sense, and like, this is a person that's trying to figure out life and you can't control it. So for the most part, you can put some structure in there, but it's like at the end of the day, this is a child that's like, hey, I don't know what a wall is. Let me see what a wall is. Let me see what this is, and they're gonna touch some shit that they're not supposed to touch and stuff like that, and understand like you gotta kind of let them in a sense. That's how I kind of look at it, instead of trying to micromanage it.
It's my boy, his wife just got pregnant, and he was like, he needs some tips, and I was like, nigga, just let her run the show. If you just let her run the show, she gonna make a lot of mistakes. Just be right there, right beside her. When she make those mistakes, she gonna tell people that we made a mistake, and you're like, no, bitch, you made a mistake. No.
You can't say that though. But you can't say that though.
No, you can't say that. You just gotta eat it. You just be like, yeah. But that's the reality. Like, man, just let her make the mistake.
I don't be eating it, bro.
Yeah, I was saying the pettiness of me when they be like, we made a mistake. I'm gonna be like, my face gonna be like, nigga, I didn't make no mistake.
I'd be like, tell the truth.
That's love.
Because for me, because if I make a mistake and it's with the child, I'm not gonna. At least for me, I would never be like, we made a mistake. I'm like, yeah, I made a mistake.
I fucked up.
I messed up. I did this, and I'm gonna put this on me. But it's just like, I'm not gonna put that on her, because she's like, hey, I didn't agree to that.
But I don't agree. I mean, I have jokes about that. I don't agree with giving new husbands and new fathers that same advice. That is shit advice.
What do you mean?
Just let her
happy
wife have
that.
Nah,
that's not happening. Not happening in my house.
That's why we have generations of this shit.
In terms of the kids, just let her do the thing.
That's why every old man over 50, 60 years old is miserable.
Fucking miserable.
They're dead in the eyes because they let that person run the show and just did what they wanted to do, and they're fucking
then you gotta
dead.
Be okay with conflict.
I am.
Be okay with conflict. I'm okay with it.
Okay,
if you're conflict averse, let her run the shit.
Yeah, if you're conflict averse, then go ahead. But if I'm okay with it. I'm okay with temporary unhappiness for long-term happiness.
Yep.
And I was thinking about that the other day when we were talking about the gym. And I was telling Keenan how much I hate the gym. And everybody knows I don't like the gym. I don't like eating good. I don't like eating good.
I gotta be beautiful.
Yeah, I don't like none of that, right? So then I started thinking about, can anybody, when people say truly happy,
I've never heard a nigga in shape speak how much he despises the gym. I fucking hate every rep. I'm just like, get this shit off.
I hate it. And I thought about happiness. What is happiness, right? Can anybody truly be happy? And I think true happiness is unattainable. I don't think anybody can have, because I was watching this thing with, what's his name? Seth Rogen. He was talking about, people always say this all the time, do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not realistic. I think there's certain sacrifices you're going to have to make to get the things that you want. There's no such thing as people like, I'm just going to do whatever I want and be happy. No, you're not, because some of those decisions you make are going to lead to unhappiness.
Right.
So the real question is, do you want short-term happiness or long-term? Do you want gratification now or for then? So like, I hate the gym. I hate eating right. But I know long-term, looking good, feeling good makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this unhappy shit real quick so I can be happy for this. Or even if you talk about niggas in their relationships, right? I can fuck this bitch. And I will be happy right now.
Yeah, in the moment.
But am I going to be happy if my family's destroyed?
Yeah.
No. So it's like, in real life, we cannot do everything we want to do.
Right.
Especially if, again, it might feel good now, but if I'm thinking long-term, what I want that really makes me happy, having a family makes me happy, being in shape makes me happy, doing comedy makes me happy. I don't want to travel all the time.
Yep.
But I have to do that to do this thing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I will take the small unhappies for the big happies.
Yeah.
So when I tell people I really am happy, I am. However, true, like you're in bliss. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, to have unlimited or like just like
Completely it driven.
Yeah. That's bullshit. You can't do it.
But for me, I look at it like that. That's life. Like it's like
Right.
you're not supposed to have happiness every second of your life.
No.
It's like you said, there's gonna be things that even make you uncomfortable. That's actually what helps you grow as a person too. It's like where I got to go through this over here, this struggle over here to become this person over here, and it's just like I think about that all the time. It's like, man, like I know the road. I want to be on the road. I want to become a headliner and get my structure and put out a headlining set and put out a special and stuff like that. And I know that takes me being on the road. But I was like, man, in the next year or so, Janelle and I are going to be looking to have a child. And it's just like, damn, man, I don't want her to ever feel like she's pregnant and she's alone, or even she's raising this kid alone.
She's gonna feel that.
Even
regardless.
when you're with her.
It's just a part of the process. Just a part of the chemical makeup. It's just women go through so much, like
Yeah, we ain't doing
chemically.
shit.
They go through so much chemically, man. It's just
I
so
mean,
you got to give a lot of grace. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know if they're not so much necessarily alone. You could be there, but there's just certain stuff. It's like
I
think
can't help
women-
you
I
out
can't
here.
do it.
I think women. I think most people have a period in their lives where they do just feel isolated, where you just feel that, and particularly with women becoming mothers, because so much of their lives change and so much of their priorities change. They just feel a level of isolation, regardless of how much support is there. Regardless of I think that's just natural.
Yeah, but I think they can, even though they
And
appreciate
postpartum too.
Yeah, they appreciate if you are there trying now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They
Yeah,
know, like there've been times like, I'm just uncomfortable. It's like, you need me? I know you're trying, but
Yeah.
nigga, I'm just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes
And
you
that
might
just-
not even get the I know you're trying. You're
Yeah.
just gonna get
Right.
the other end of it.
And those
So,
now that's the only time I ate stuff a lot was during the pregnancies. Cause I'm like, nigga, you're carrying a whole
Yeah.
ass. So
Yeah.
if I got to
Yeah.
be wrong every day during these 9 months,
Absolutely.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
it's cool. And
I'm okay with that.
The only thing I struggled with personally, in my personal experience, was don't try to present to me like you got it all together. Like, don't try to save face. Like, no, I'm fine.
Oh, yeah,
So
if you're
then
gonna be
now,
fucked up, be fucked up.
If you're telling me that you're fine and you're still exhibiting that behavior,
Right.
Yeah.
Now I just think you're crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you tell me that you're fine and you present yourself as like being like normal, and you try to have, and we have a dialogue, and it's I'm approaching it as though like, no, I'm having a dialogue with a normal
Right.
human person. I'm having a discourse, but I'm not.
Right.
So just let us in, like, hey, yo, I'm a little fucked up now. I'm a little
Right.
fucked up because she's gonna revisit it like
Right.
months later. She's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, when I was 7 months pregnant, or when he was
Right.
2 months old, I was out of my mind. It's like, yeah, but you wasn't saying that then.
Right.
You saying that shit now.
That's
But
what
some,
you said. Yeah.
there were times where she didn't have. I just like Nigga, when she cried over chicken wings, I was like, okay. I was like, okay.
It's like, oh, I'm dealing with something different
I
right
was
now.
like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
This is
dealing.
different.
Yeah, you're not even you.
Yeah, you're not even here.
You're.
Yeah.
She was like, I want some chicken. I went in the kitchen, nigga, made chicken.
You pulled your dick out.
She walked
obviously.
in there. She walked in there, saw the chicken, and I just hear her cry. I was like, "What's the problem?" I thought I wanted it, but then I didn't want it, and I just started laughing. But it wasn't
Oh,
like
that's
no.
fucked up.
Here's the thing: it wasn't situation at her. It was just
like,
a situation.
Situation, yeah.
So she does it, and I just start giggling, and then. When she stopped crying, she started laughing.
Yeah.
Because she's like acknowledging, I know I'm fucking insane right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
you need that.
and I think at that moment is when I really was like, okay, I'm gonna adjust my behavior.
Yeah.
Whenever she snaps or whenever I understand this isn't about me.
Yeah.
The thing she said in the hospital right before giving birth, I was like, you didn't mean that. I didn't mean it. I forgot what was going on because she didn't do an epidural both times. She took it to the face both times. She looks at me. I'm holding her hand or whatever, and she was like, you did this or something like something. I forgot what she said. And I hate you right now. And I was like, okay. She's like, I didn't mean it. I didn't. And I was like,
But
it's fine.
do you think it's also just good for them to probably get some of that emotion out?
Yeah, and it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I thought all of it was hilarious. I thought it was so funny to know a person and then you see them, like, just out of control.
Yeah.
It's just funny. But at the same time, too, I think I was also not only aware of it, but I looked at her. I'm like, you're carrying my child. Like, the way I would look at her when she was pregnant was just like, man, you are incredible. Like, you're gonna give me my baby.
This gift is just literally.
Yeah.
just-
So I used to just be like, man, look at you.
Yeah.
Like, waddling around. You know what I mean? Sweating. It's just like, yeah, what do you need, man? You're carrying my whole kid right now.
Do you think? Well, I'll get to that in a second. Gary, did you feel the same way?
About what?
What he just said.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of.
Like, man, she's carrying my child. Like,
It was miraculous to me. The
Yeah.
experience was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, it was more. We had more issues after the baby was born, and I wasn't like privy to like postpartum and all like that dynamic of it, because like shit just wasn't making sense. But obviously, you know, we was living with great distance. Like, I was in Cali and she was in Michigan, so that provided its own challenges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I was like, I tip my hat, like, but I just want to make sure that you're aware and that you're chemically kind of fucked up right now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so as long as we can acknowledge that, like, you can say anything you want to say. You can
Right.
say the most outlandish shit you want, and I'll just take it on the chin because I know
Right.
you're not here. You're not
I
with
agree
us.
with you because some people do handle pregnancy where they're just like, eh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The girl at the show, we did a show in Tacoma.
Yeah.
This girl was pregnant.
Surrogate.
And we were like, and she's this like, what did she say? Number what?
That's her second. She
She
was
just
a
likes
surrogate for the
being
second
pregnant.
time.
She
likes
just
being
likes,
pregnant.
she'll be
She's
pregnant for
chilling.
people.
So
and
she's a surrogate. Like,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
even
it's
her
not even her
kid.
child.
no.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is her second time. She was like, yeah.
And I was like, I got to take a picture of you and send it to my fiance to show her what a real woman looks like. I'm just fucking around. I love Jess so much. I love fucking with it. Yeah.
But
it's
it's just
great.
like, you know, so some people are just like, yeah, I don't mind being pregnant.
Yeah.
But for the ones who's like, yeah, just acknowledge, hey, we both know
Yeah.
you're off your rocker right now. And that's okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
That's
okay.
You don't have to present this face of being strong. I think that is another dynamic in relationships when you
Vulnerability.
have vulnerability for both parts,
Mhm.
but especially when you come from a background that's just, you know, you come from different backgrounds. So there was a lot of times where I would, you know, tell Kadi, it's okay for you to be,
Yeah.
I got,
You don't have to mask it.
I got
And
it.
try to feel like you're.
You don't have to take care of everything.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to do,
I'm your partner. I'm here.
yeah,
for you.
I got
Yeah.
it. It's okay. You don't have to take on. But like I said, now fast forward 10 years. Now it's like, hey, nigga, you got everything. Like,
Yeah. But is that if you were? I know you don't do like couples goals, but is that like the goal of someone who is the provider? Like, you want to provide that comfort and that ease in her life to where she can just be like frolicking about the meadow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just like chilling.
I think deep down in our core DNA, whatever the fuck we want to call it, I think you do get a sense of like, I'm glad, even though it sometimes, what?
'Cause even that goal could still be self-serving. It's like, I don't want you to have to worry about nothing but give me that pussy. I don't want you to have nothing on your mind. No stress at all. All you got to worry about is that pussy.
But I believe some dudes, they do have wives
yeah.
or like trophy wives, whatever. For them, it's like, yo, you're here to look good. When I want to just bust in something real quick, I need you to be.
I hate that.
Busting something real quick.
The language is niggas.
So rough. It's so rough.
It is. That's what my dad.
If I
told
need
me.
to blast off,
Yeah, if I need to slut this bitch out.
I say, if, I just need you here just prepared to make love. To your
once my dad introduced cum dumpster to me, it was a rap to me at that point. That was literally his lingo, like blast off in the bitch. So that was just like, it's I'm a good guy at
I'm proud
heart.
of you, dude. I'm so proud of you that you've come, that you're not trying to pimp, that you're not pimping. Those are the seeds of a pimp and a future pimp.
I was literally my route was either to go a very probably that type of route, or come this way. And I think for me,
that's why you talk fast, nigga. You're supposed to be a pimp.
Sugar free, baby.
Yeah, you're supposed to be a pimp. That's why you talk so fast. Like, bitch, I done told you coming around this. Bitch, I done told you to get a goddamn car. Shit. My motherfucking money at bitch. Shit, goddamn.
I think
pimps talk fast, nigga.
they do. That's
yes.
true. That's true.
Let's slap the shit out you right now.
Oh man.
Why do you think they talk fast? Like, why do you think? Do you think it's to confuse them?
Hey, you say enough words, nigga.
Yeah.
You gonna
So now you have an excuse to do whatever you do, because like if you miss all that, if you say a bunch of stuff real fast and it's like, but I didn't hear you say that, it's just like, yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's just like you missed it. It's like, but I said
receipts.
it.
There's no receipts.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
I technically said it, but you just missed it.
Can you
'cause
imagine
don't-
being parented by a pimp though? I told you, motherfucker, to clean your room. You didn't do your chores. Nigga, I give you a whole list.
Wash some goddamn dishes, take that motherfucking trash out. Shit.
I didn't hear none of that.
That would be a hilarious thing to hear. Like, cause there's parents out there with children that actually take care of
Right.
their kids. I want to know, like, how did they raise
What's your
them?
method?
Yeah, what's the method? Do you tone it down at the house? You know what I'm saying?
It's my baby. I love you. I
Or
love my babies.
or do you just turn into a pastor to bring it back? A lot of pimps are pastors.
Oh yeah,
A lot of ex pimps
a
are.
lot of former my life is fucked up people are become
Yeah.
pastors. Found the Lord.
But to go back to what Gary said about like my dad or whatever, it's like the reason I think the reason why I saw all that stuff there was like I was like, man, this can't be how relationships are. Like this can't be like seeing abuse, seeing womanizing, seeing cheating, and seeing all this stuff like that. Not to say my dad is a bad. I mean, I guess he was a bad person probably back in the day, but like now he's different. But like being like, nah, man, I think that was
there has
my.
to be other side.
That's the other side. And maybe it's like that athlete in somebody. Even though I wasn't a college athlete, high school athlete, but it was just like maybe my thing was just like, yo, maybe it's I want to do something different. I want to do something better. I'm going to challenge myself to not be this way. And I think that was kind of a part of it. It was just like, yo, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I had my moments when I was just like I was out here wilding. Like I had rosters of teams, you know what I'm saying? But I always had it in my head was just like I'm going to be married one day. I wanted to be married. I wanted to be married with a family and a house. I always wanted that.
With your roster, did you like, were you transparent, or did you like have feelings for like the people that you were
I mean, typically when I had a roster, there was probably always one girl that I liked more than all the other girls. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, like I was pretty transparent. Like I felt like it was never like I led one on to where it's like she's my girlfriend and she's just like, well, where are all these women coming from? Mm-hmm. Or when I get a text, it just be like, right, one of your other bitches, huh? And it's be like, let me answer real quick before they get upset. So
yeah.
But I was
crisis control.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't lie. I had moments where I for sure lied, but like for the most part, I was pretty transparent. I didn't, I kind of kept it pretty authentic.
Let's ask those women that. Chime in, past lovers of Keenan. Did you feel like he was honest and transparent?
Or I did kind of make you feel like when I'm with you. Like you're the one.
That's where I was.
Yeah, you're the one who I'm with right now. That's all that matters. Yep. So it's just like, why are you thinking about another chick?
Yep. That's where I was at with it.
Yeah. What are you talking about? I just ignored her call. Clearly, you're the most important right now.
Honestly, I would answer him.
I mean, I just didn't
Rude.
care. I didn't care to answer because it's like right now.
I got a 10 o'clock.
Rude, nigga.
You gotta go. I got a 10 o'clock.
Hella rude. But I did it for them.
For them.
Yeah.
And in the long
The
run.
long run.
Yeah. How
The
did
long run.
those women turn out?
We're fine. Everybody, we're good.
They're good. Are they
Yeah.
married with children?
I don't know
That's
their
the
lives.
flex. That's the flex. That's the flex. Like the women in my past, they're all doing really well. They all have.
They all went to
Yo,
college.
bitches, she
They all
I
went to-
trained them, yeah.
she got 8 kids.
No, you know what's funny? A lot of them single mothers.
Oh man.
That's what you did.
No, I think because the dudes couldn't live up.
Oh, the
Oh,
arrogance.
man.
I think I set the bar too high. I think I
Damn.
fucked up.
I would say I can confidently say that the majority of women that I've ever dealt with.
Dealt with.
I mean, that's solid. That's
It's
solid.
like it sounds like a chore almost.
Well, I mean, in the sense of like sex or smashing or even like ex-girlfriends, right? I would say the majority of them, we can still be cordial and cool. Some of
Yeah.
them like have still hit me up and be like, hey, you know, you're married.
Yeah.
I see you're married. Everything is fine. I'm married too. I got like 2 kids. Man, it's good to see you. We're both doing well now. It's like it's great.
Yeah.
And it's just like I feel like the majority of them are looking at me like, yeah, nigga, I hope this nigga Keenan's failing in life. There's probably a few, but I think it's very, very little. Because I feel like, I mean, I was an asshole, but I was like a nice asshole. Like I wasn't the guy that was like trying to break you and
Yeah.
destroy you mentally. You know, I wasn't like that's different level.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was an asshole to a point where it's just like,
You gotta get in their mind, baby.
Because that's interesting. Like,
Little ass up.
if you think about it, like college, and then in your early 20s, you're essentially in like relationship college as well.
Oh, yeah.
Relationship university. So you're kind of molding your thoughts and your perception, as well as like the impact that you have. Like, especially men. Men have a stronger impact on women, like at the end of that relationship and how that thing ends.
Seeing these podcasts, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. These dudes are out here fucked
You think so?
up.
yeah.
They are
You think they were
destroyed.
hurt by a woman?
Yes.
Oh, for
think
sure.
so?
They
for
hate
sure.
women.
For sure.
They are
Or-
damaged goods.
Or it's a part of that. I feel like either the hate women is in there, but I also think it's part of it the grow up of like they never got women growing up, and now their anger is going towards that too. I think it's multiple things. I think it could be that also. And because I look at some of these podcasts, I was like, oh, you didn't get chicks growing up.
Okay.
For
I can
sure,
sense
you didn't
that,
get women
yeah.
growing up. This is where your
or
animosity.
or
That's not
you,
their
you
fault.
or you had one and she broke your little heart.
Yep,
And now
she cheated
these
on you.
You
niggas.
think it's heartbroken niggas out
Oh
here?
my God!
For
Just
sure.
listen
Women.
to them.
For sure, some not
They
all.
are.
I thought it was just a standard, an unrealistic standard of what a relationship is, and people not finding that. So now they're just like, these women they not sucking dick like they supposed, or like I thought.
I
it
mean,
was
some
all
people
that.
are just talking.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
they're,
I
they're,
thought it
was
they're
that.
speaking in ideals. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Right.
you ain't
that's what
never,
I
you
thought.
ain't like. So, but
Right.
there are some where you like. You can tell by how they say it, like, and then a bitch, because they story get personal.
Yeah.
So it'd be a general conversation, like, why women don't cook? Yeah, and then you come home from work and shoot, and you like, whoa. This
Nigga
is
snapping.
about your
Yeah.
story. This
Yeah.
is not.
I agree.
And most people, if you think about it, most people speak from experience.
Yeah.
So a lot of these dudes, man, have just been through, just like women do. Niggas ain't shit. No, the niggas you mess with.
Yeah, ain't
But
shit.
shit,
They
and that's
made
a
bad
choice that you
decisions.
made.
If you were to
Exactly.
make a general consensus, I would argue that niggas ain't shit. I would argue with capitalism doesn't allow for niggas to be shit.
I wouldn't argue that niggas ain't shit. I think the niggas that women want ain't shit.
So that's just the natural
Yeah. Niggas ain't
element of
shit
it.
because you won't give
Natural selection.
the nice guy
Natural selection ain't
who
shit.
work.
Well,
yeah.
well, I would say too.
Darwinism ain't shit,
Natural
bro.
selection ain't shit.
Well, I'll say too. The guys that you want don't have to be shit because they're wanted.
They don't.
I'm wanted. If I'm a guy that's wanted, I'm a wanted man in a sense. I can kind of do whatever I want because it's just like, if you don't want me, she wants me, or she wants me, or she wants me. I can kind of do whatever the fuck I want to do, even if it's.
I've never had to be accountable for being shit.
Yeah. So
For
even
what?
if you're a rich guy with money and you're living like a corporate life, that type of dude too. Or even if you're going down to the hood nigga that ain't shit, but he get hoes. He looking at it like, yo, I don't ever have to be accountable. Like, if I don't fuck with you, then I already got 3 other girls on the list anyway. They don't even matter to me. Like,
Right.
you
And
know,
the
I'm
same
not-
could be said for these, Instagram pretty chicks. I've never had to do anything because I'm pretty.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So some
I
niggas
don't
will
have
take
to
care
work.
of me.
Yeah, it's
I don't
like-
have to be shit. And I'm gonna keep getting pregnant by these different
Yeah.
and I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
And by the time my looks fade, I've already been paid. You know, like I'm
Yeah,
good.
got
I've
so
been
much
taken care of.
alimony,
Yeah.
so much child
So
support
I don't
probably.
care. I don't have to be shit.
Yeah, I think so. I think it goes in both of those.
Yeah.
senses.
So the
Like,
20
yeah.
percenters on both sides don't have to be shit because, you know, they're fine. It
Life takes
goes-
care of them.
It goes into though, what do you want like deep down? Like I could still to this day be out here wilding, but I wouldn't have a family.
so?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have a family. I wouldn't have. And I've always, like Keenan said, even in my whole days, I knew long term I wanted what I grew up with.
So it goes beyond just your relationship with just your partner. It goes to it's extended out into like how it affects other people, children, and like the family and the structure and what you're trying to give to
What do you
like,
mean?
the next generation. So I'm saying it goes beyond just like fucking bitches. Just goes beyond just like hurting your wife or your partner or your spouse, like wilding out in the streets. It extends to other people and just the family structure that you're trying.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
present.
yeah. Like I knew I was gonna leave because, and then it's just the older we get. Like I'm not finna waste your time. If I'm not gonna wife you, I'm not. Why waste your time? Like, because I know
But you don't think that you can grow into someone?
people do it. I know I
yeah.
wasn't gonna do it.
You knew like off
Yeah,
jump.
yeah. I was like, I ain't gonna do that shit because I gotta find certain stuff about you that I like out the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't, it ain't gonna work.
I've been big on like growing into people.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well,
On the surface, I've never had like a, I mean, there's like, on the surface, like, yeah, you're attractive, I'm attractive. Our conversation flows, cool. But like, I need like a real experience that really
Yeah,
binds us together.
and I want that to happen,
Yeah.
but I need this first, and then the real stuff happens.
Yeah, I need real stuff first.
I was always like, some people be like, looks don't matter, blah blah. They don't when
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah.
But out the gate, no, I'm about that ass, the face, the do you make me laugh? Like all the shit that's like fun. I need that, and then how do we communicate? How do you
interesting.
handle your traumas? How do you handle my traumas? Then that shit matters. But at front, out the gate, if you can't pass level 1,
Yeah.
we ain't gonna get to level 7.
never had a level 1.
Yeah,
because
I always had level 1.
I always felt like,
Yeah, me too.
I felt like the level 1, the ass, the titties, and all that shit, the face and all that sort of conjures a certain personality. They become that. That becomes their identity. So
Some.
then there
Some.
isn't.
Some do.
So
Some.
then there is because you don't have to develop anything else.
Yeah,
because you have that.
That's true for some.
So I've always leaned more into like what's underneath the surface.
Well,
that was like my initial.
I would rather.
I've always been more.
I
into
think
that.
I would rather. I guess you could say in a sense, I KD'd my dating life. I was like, I'm gonna go for the pretty girl that also can win a championship. You know what I mean? Where like some people want to make, some athletes will want to make. I'm gonna get 250 mil and play for this team, but y'all ain't gonna win shit. And then Warriors had the best of both worlds. They were the darling, but also got shit done. So I feel like I always felt, and I think what you're talking about more is how more people live is either I can have this or that. And I always
You're
felt
trying to get
like
both.
No, both exist.
Yeah.
I'm patient enough to wait for it. I'll find it. And also, to be fair though, I had enough options to choose from
Exactly.
where I could be that picky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most people cannot be that picky.
right.
They're like, I got these two choices.
So what would you tell most people?
Yeah, you can't. Sometimes
Do what
some
makes
of
you happy.
I was gonna say, but Keon, yeah, you can't. You're speaking from your experience, of course, but like when you talking about like the average dude, it's just like, they're not gonna have the options of like,
The bad one who's also
Person-
has depth.
Because they're not going to get enough bad ones
Yeah.
anyway.
yeah. What is the pettiest thing you stopped talking to a chick for?
I didn't like the color of her nipples. True story.
Wait, what color were the nipples? What color was she? And what color was the
That's
nipples?
what made me mad.
Right.
It's like, I expect, if you are not white, I'm expecting light brown to
pink.
darker brown. If you're not
Really?
white,
Oh, if you're not white, yeah. Okay.
if you're not white,
Yeah.
I'm expecting. So she was like Filipino or something, and they were just super pink, and I'm expecting light brown. And
What's
so
wrong with that? I feel like if you're a lighter person, you probably will have. There's a possibility you might have
lighter
lighter
nipples, but I'm expecting at least give me the lightest brown. And they were like white girl, like
Pink?
pink, and it just bothered me because I'm like, if I wanted this pink, I would just fuck a white girl. Like it was, I felt like I was getting cheated out of a
That's wild.
out of an ethnic experience.
Now that is hella petty because
I know you asked me what the.
That's true. That's true.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Because I was gonna say, like, I understand if you got a black girl and she had pink nipples, I'd be like, that's kind of like crazy to
That's
see. But like
wild.
any girl
I would
that's
be drawn to that.
yeah. But I'm saying at least our
Is
first.
there any white on you at all?
Gary's like, I can't have you full. You're black, but I need a little bit of white on you. Your nose has to be pointy or something. I need something. But like, I feel like that is crazy. Because for me,
It's ridiculous.
I would have expected a girl that's non-white to possibly have pink, unless she's darker, of course. Like if you're dating like a dark, like a Latino girl, whatever the case may be, then that's different. But like I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here acting like that's not. You asked me what the most petty and that what it was. To this day, I'd be like, who the fuck do I think
And
I am? Like,
I will
what?
ask, how do
Like,
you
what?
think she's doing now?
She's actually doing great.
Okay, good.
She's
That's
actually an
good to hear.
actress now. She's been in some things.
That's good to hear.
That should show the titties
Yeah.
on screen.
And
Huh?
let's just check
I
out.
should show the titties on screen because I want to see how petty this nigga was. I cannot.
Hey, I just want to. I just want to do like a segment where we check on all our exes and just like accumulate a score to see whose exes are thriving more. In life.
I don't have any. I don't have many
to
exes.
boost ourselves.
Old
up.
smashes I have.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have exes.
Oh, you don't have any exes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But old smashes. But all of them. Coincidentally, a lot of single moms. But as far as like in life, in our relationships, like they still come to shows. They're still like we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. I'm thinking about some. Some have full families, functioning. All of them are doing well job wise.
Okay.
All that shit. It's just the single momness of it all.
I'll say like 90% of my exes are thriving.
Yeah, they're
in life.
doing. They're just. Yeah, the dudes they had the kids with. Just didn't.
Bad decisions.
But you know what's funny is when I see that, I'm like, see, that's why I didn't want to date. You know what I mean? Like when there's some of them, I'm like, that's why I didn't want to be with
Let me ask you this.
That's why I kept you at this distance because I knew you
Let
wouldn't.
me ask you this.
You wouldn't work.
Do you feel like some of those girls that you used to mess with, and you seen either
Dealt
their
with.
exes dealt with, whatever, that you dealt with or whatever,
I slut it up.
that you slutted
Cum
out, that
buckets. I was
you
Blasted
blasted
fucking.
on? Do you feel like when you watched either some of their exes or dudes that had kids, were you just like, man, they lucked up with me. Like I'm the best they ever had, even from a visual standpoint. Like,
I've seen a lot of them
I've definitely seen that.
so much stuff.
And not even looks wise or stuff. I'm just talking about what I brought as a man. I'm like, even when they started dating, I'm like, that's a bad decision.
yeah.
You know, I see it coming. I'm like, that's a bad decision. And then boom, single mom.
You know what's crazy? There's been women that I've dealt with that I probably didn't treat as well as I probably could have. Not that I treated terribly, but like I probably could have treated them better. And then they got with somebody else, and you was like, this nigga treated them horrible. It's just like
Yeah.
I at least gave you somewhat of a template. You know what I'm saying? To be like,
you treated them bad is because you were like really actively suppressing your pimping. You know, suppressing your natural calling.
No, I can honestly say I always knew when it was time that I would be a good husband and father. I knew I'd flip that switch when it was time to do that. I was like, but right now I'm in fuckboy mode.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm doing. I was raised in a husband. I know what that looks like.
You saw
I know,
it.
you know
You
what I
saw
mean?
the structure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm like, and I think that's what kept me from a lot of women was just like, I'm gonna want a certain, way, and you're not gonna be able to provide that for me. You have a lot going on, or it's just like, nah.
Was the ideal modeled after your mother?
I don't know. You know what? Now that I think, I don't really think about when I think about my life. My mom doesn't like pop in my head a lot. It's a lot of dad lessons. A lot of even when I was learning what not to do, it was just what he did that I'm not supposed to. I didn't learn like my mom. I just have her personality as far as meh. So I got that from her, and that's just a natural thing.
yeah,
Yes, my mom affected my dating when it came to, and we've talked about this before on here. What I expected as far as like, if a girl said she's tired, I'm like bullshit. My mom has 3 kids, does her own hair, cooks, goes to work, blah blah. How the fuck are you tired? And all you do is have 12 units. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me.
college is tough, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what are you doing? This lady has a whole family, works, still does like women be like, I'm too tired to cook. I'm like, how? That doesn't make sense. I'm too tired to do my hair. How? Yeah. So yes, that affected my dating. My mom definitely put my personality or expectation standards very high because I'm like, if she can juggle all this with these kids and this, there's no excuse for you with no kids, no husband, to not be able to do it. I've seen it done.
Right.
So yes, my childhood shaped all of my dating because everything that people said wasn't possible, even in life, I saw it. Right. So you can't tell me and that's why I think how people are raised are very important because that's where you set your bar.
Yeah.
So if somebody always told you ain't shit, you can't do shit, blah, blah, blah. But if you're shown these things are attainable, if your parents come from South Central LA and all your aunties and all now they all have houses and you're like, oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I can do this. If your mother can do this, if your dad can pull off being a 20-year-old with 2 children, and I saw
The
possibilities of everything.
and resolve.
So that's why I was like, my expectations for life were very, because I was like, and then I'm going to outdo them. So, you're supposed to outdo your parents.
Yep.
So my expectations were always very high because I saw it done.
So at what point in your parents' marriage did you realize that it was kind of strained, and what effect did it have on you? Because I remember you saying
It was fast.
when they got divorced, you were like, thank God.
Because I kid you not, for 19 years, chilling. Nigga, 6 months.
Okay.
And I mean, we were like, what? It went from what
So it
the
was perfect for 19 years.
nigga.
From what you saw.
Yeah, it was like chilling.
Okay.
And then, nigga, I probably say like, I don't know the exact timeline, maybe 6 months to a year. It just was like, and we were like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it got to a point where it was like, when they was like, we're getting divorced, I was like, good.
Okay.
Because this has been done.
You didn't see it like
No, it was
materializing through the years.
it was like shoo.
Okay.
And we were like, what?
That was
So-
when you got. Were you at the house?
I moved out at 18 and with my teammates, and then when they got divorced, I was going to Montana, so I was leaving anyway.
But Keith was,
going to wherever.
and Kyron was still in. He was still
Yeah, he was in the house.
Yeah.
So Kyron's the only one that really went through the divorce. We're like, we're out, bro. But yeah, it took so it was probably like a year when I was just like, God damn.
You know what's crazy?
It was constant, and I couldn't imagine people growing up in that their whole lives. I had it for a year, and I was like, I'm over this shit.
Yeah.
I'll be real with you. Being a kid, my parents got divorced. Like, I think around we were like maybe like 8 or 9 or whatever it was. I was like, thank God. Even at that, because I knew it that I was like, this ain't. There's too
Right.
much damage being done. There's too much domestic violence. There's too much drugs and alcoholism.
Right.
I was just like, man, they don't need to be together, man. It's just like you wanted it to work, and when we had the happy times when we were younger, it was cool. But once I saw all the bad times, I was just like, get the hell up out of here.
Yeah.
Get up out of here.
And was your mother present after y'all separated?
Nah, like after they separated for a little bit, she had like her own spot. Then she eventually ended up moving to North Carolina.
Okay.
So like we just speak to her on the phone like maybe like 2-3 times a week or whatever it was.
So, but would you say that she was absent?
I mean, I don't think she would probably like to hear that, but I mean, I guess technically, in reality, she was. Yeah.
So would you? I've been kind of mulling over this, like.
What, leaving?
So much easier.
I love it. I love that. No, because my dad was an addict, and he was absent. But there are people who have parents who are addicts, but they're still present. But you see them
Right.
in that state. My dad never wanted me to see him in that state. So I ponder, would I have rather had been able to see him be more present, though he was, under the influence, or was this the best thing, him being gone?
Well, you know what's crazy? Like my dad was still an addict too. He's an alcoholic, so it was just
Okay.
like we still saw the addiction on that end. But I will say that it looked like my mom was going through something more severe because she was using on
harder
crack,
drugs,
the harder
yeah.
drugs. So it's just like when I saw my mom go from this beautiful, pretty lady to like looking completely different. And it was just like her losing so much weight in her body and her face. It was just like it was the scariest shit ever.
Yeah.
I remember and I don't know, we're gonna wrap up soon, but like I
Yeah.
remember when my dad and my mom got divorced and all this stuff happened, and as we got older, and we were screaming like, we want to live with our mom, we want her to have custody of us. Why you get to have custody of us? And we were so pissed. And then I think we went to go visit our mom in North Carolina one time, and I remember I was just like, she wouldn't be to handle us. We needed to be with our dad. We were 2 young boys coming into, like young men going into men. It's like she wouldn't have been able to handle that phase.
So do you feel like you would have? But do you feel like the distance was appropriate, or do you wish that, despite her circumstances, you would have been able to see her more, even if
Or did you want to see her like that?
even if it meant like she might be high?
You
or
got a sense.
whatever?
I understand something. I got a chance to see my mom like on the streets at one point,
Yeah.
and that shit felt like a movie, bro. I couldn't, like you said, I couldn't see her like that.
Okay.
So for me,
So it's good that she was gone.
well, because I think when she got gone, there were still drug issues where she was. But I think a lot of her drug stuff started to eventually turn into more alcohol, which was just like, okay, I'm dealing with an alcoholic here. It would have been bad dealing with this too, but I could probably deal with that. Dealing with like somebody that's on crack, bro, that shit was just, it was too much to see.
Okay.
And then when it's your mother, like you saw like a beautiful person turn into like, it was just like their face was like they lost structure in their face, like they
Yeah.
don't even look the same. It was
I get
just,
that.
it
I
was
get
just,
that.
yeah, it's just like that was hard to see.
That makes sense.
So
'Cause
your
I would
dad,
only
your
see my
dad, your dad leaving probably was for the best. Then.
Yeah, I would only see him when he was doing well, so I never saw him at his worst.
Which you
at his rock
gotta,
bottom.
especially as adults, I guess, and just critical thinkers like we are, you actually kind of got to give him a little props for that. Or like he knew, like
Understanding that.
Every time he
like-
called me, he was like, "Yo, I'm in a program. I'm
yeah,
getting it together."
which
yada,
which
yada, yada.
which also let you know that like nigga, now I'm got a bleeding heart for him because I'm like, he probably was like, fuck, when I'm doing good, man,
Yeah,
I would have been all right, man.
My mom was great when she was doing good. Like
Yeah.
when she was able to, when she was functioning, my mom was a mom's mom. I always say it all the
Yeah.
time. And it was similar to like Gary's. Like, you know, we went to AA with our mom. She'd be like, yo, I'm going through this now. We went there and we was like, so sometimes she would have us like, you know, when she had custody of us, like half the custody or whatever. She, you know, we would go to some of the meetings and we'll sit there and we'll kind of watch. We'd be like, man, this is kind of crazy. But it was like, it's good that my mom would be like, yeah, I'm 7 months clean and it's and it was like when my mom was clean and good, amazing,
Right.
amazing. But when that shit got a hold of her, bro, I can't.
They got to be kicking themselves because they know what they were sober. You know, like you said, he called you. I'm in the program. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're sitting there on the streets failing, and all you can think about, I'm a failure. I'm not there, and it's like, fuck.
But then you also have the community of other failures. And
Right.
You can exchange stories like, man, I miss my sons.
Nigga.
Man, I miss my damn. I wish we could have.
Man, that's got to be a wild. Now I can't stop thinking about Sugar Hill when he does the drugs and he looks at him like, I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
nigga,
Yeah.
this shit is.
It always makes me think about like even certain. I mean, I don't even say drugs, but because alcoholism has done it to families also.
Right.
It's like something to be that strong for you to choose either that over your child and or family,
Right.
and be like, hey man,
And you don't even want
You don't even
that.
want to.
Yeah.
You just like,
wish
but
it to
I'm
be
I
better.
can't.
doing,
I can't stop. But I just can't. I need.
I
this.
wanna. You think I don't want to go to this game?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
or even for the, you know, I've heard stories of people who like, you know, where they had an absent mother or father because of drugs or whatever, and they was like, but I'd see him, you know, peeking his head out of the game. Like they care, and it's
Yeah.
just like, but I ain't gonna let you see me like this, and I know
That's
I ain't
true.
gonna be.
Yeah.
I know I ain't gonna be who I need to be for you.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
this, because it's like either I stay away or I'm at the house and you see drug use in the house, or you see abuse, or you see it's like
Yeah.
I'm better off gone.
That makes
Yeah.
sense because there were instances where I would like see him around the city, just like on the bus or something. And I just get off the bus and if I see him get on the bus, I get off the bus. Nigga, I'm like, I don't want you associating with me while I'm like with my friends and shit. Just
Yeah.
like because it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Meanwhile, he was following you though.
yeah.
Meanwhile,
he was trying to be in my life.
He was
trying to
following.
be in my
But not
life.
even be. He
Yeah.
just wanted to see.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
wanted to. Like I've
Yeah.
heard people say, I just
Imagine
wanted
that like
Yeah.
homeless, unhoused father just like showing up to your
Right.
elementary school during lunch,
Right.
bringing you McDonald's. Like,
and
nigga,
knowing,
hold on, wait.
yeah, nigga, nah. So
I
he
don't know
just
that nigga. Y'all
they
ain't about
just
to
would
make
try
fun of
to-
me for the next 3 weeks.
they wanted to be apart, but they couldn't, and it's just like,
I mean, that's why I got in one of my first.
just let me
fights in
watch.
school.
Let me watch your life.
One of my first fights in school happened because of that. A nigga made fun of my mom. I was like, hey, man, ain't your mom Greg? I saw her for the Circle K, nigga. I was like,
Damn.
she was, but.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like you said, it was like it was tough because it's like, especially if your mom's local around the area, like my mom was like, we lived like near the school. So like when you would walk to school, if my mom was in the area at the time on that shit, you can see that shit. And it was like, man, I remember, I think a kid made fun of me before, and I couldn't beat this nigga. I was like, no, I had to resort to biting this nigga in the chest.
Pilot's gonna be like, "Can I speak to you in private for a moment? Like, you know how hurtful that is. Why would you say something like that to me?"
Hear. It's like even Kevin Hart's jokes are funny. Like my dad show up high as shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? But he had to. But I'm gonna be there for my son's spelling bee. You know, I'm gonna be there for his basketball game.
High as fuck.
High as fuck. But
There's
I'm,
no better way to experience it though. Like, from his perspective, I'm just high as fuck watching this play.
Yeah.
Whole new meaning.
This play's
This is
actually pretty damn
amazing.
good.
It's
Yeah.
as shit.
like, I get it. I get like
Tony Awards for all these niggas.
As much as I want to like see how much it bothers me to watch, and their games don't even count yet. You know, I can imagine missing it, knowing it's because you're embarrassed or you're, you know, and I gotta watch from behind a tree, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's got to be painful too, like to see like your child ascend and become like really good,
Excelling,
like all American,
yeah.
and to know that you had no part in that, like nothing.
Yeah.
you had a part because they had the
DNA,
they had the drive.
that's it.
But also,
Well, they had the drive though to
Yeah.
get out of this
drive,
situation.
and even the motivation to be like, yo, I don't want to be that too. So I mean, at the end of the day, it was like you might have had something to do with that.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
negative
but
effect.
now you using that though, like you
Yeah.
show up to,
I put the
you
ball
show
in
up
your
to his
son.
sign and be like, no, nigga, I'm the reason why you.
Yeah.
Why you
If
was
I
this
didn't do
driven.
crack, nigga, you would have never would
Right,
do
do
this
that
shit.
shit. We'd have moved to a nice neighborhood. You wouldn't have had no drive.
You would have never.
Nah.
Mediocre ass nigga. You lucky I left your ass.
Yeah.
Be grateful.
As a matter of fact, if I gotta tell you again, they start,
Nigga, I'll leave again.
Yeah.
they start shooting up on signing
I
day.
shoot up right here
You know what
in
would be
front of you.
even more hilarious,
and you going to
dog?
the
This
league.
nigga becomes an all-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
Bro,
I saw my father shoot up during signing day today. I just went to the gym.
what'll be more hilarious is when you come back into your kid's life and they start kind of being mediocre again. It's just like, nigga, see, this is why the
See?
fuck,
This
this
is
is
why-
why the fuck I couldn't.
Nigga, the nigga gets back. You got an F on your report card? See, I don't
Yeah.
want to have to do this.
shit.
Does somebody have a joke about that? I feel like I've heard like
Maybe. I think Taquita has something similar like that. She has something similar about like, y'all ain't doing something, and her mom was like,
yeah,
something
you gonna
similar.
make me?
Yeah. But I mean, that's. I mean,
Yeah, Taquita, her mom. Yeah.
But I could see like that probably really happening in the sense of like,
Subconsciously.
yeah. I mean, because some similar type happened with like my mom was not on drugs anymore, but like alcohol. And I remember like she had my brother has like drinks and stuff at the house. He has like a whole bar in his house or whatever. And my mama came to visit, and I think she had drank like a lot of like she drank some of his alcohol, like his expensive stuff too, and so he had to like lock stuff up and hide stuff. And then I remember she was just like, he's like, well, where the alcohol at? He's just like, you can't have none, mom. Like you're not responsible enough to handle it. Like 'cause Corey, he'd kind of like go kind of hard about it.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, well, fine, I'm gonna find a way to get the shit if you give it to me or not. And then I was just like, just
too much.
Just give her one, man. Just give her one, bro. Just let her get the rocks off, man. Because if you don't, man, if she hits the Kentucky streets, she don't know what she's doing out here. You know what I'm saying?
I stayed at my brother's house one night. He lives in the projects, and I had to wake up hella early to leave. And I go to my car and parked right behind me. It's like, you know, they got their sunshades up and shit. And as I'm like, I had to pop my trunk to get dressed because all my clothes is in the back. And I'm getting dressed. I'm like in my drawers. The door opens. The fucking the sunshade comes down, and a lady was like, she was like, "Hi, baby," and I was like, "Hey," "What's up?" And it was like 5 a.m, and she was like, she went like this. She's like, "You got some crack?" And I was like, "Nah," but I felt bad that I didn't have any for, cause like. She was like so sweet, you know.
Yeah.
Was, I wish I could give you some, but I don't have any right now.
How old were you again?
Huh?
How do you say you was?
Oh, nigga, this was like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, nigga, I almost crossed over. I almost became a kingpin. I was like, I got to get some drugs for this woman. She's so kind. She's like, "Hi, baby." I was hella early in the morning.
All right, man.
Sunshade came down.
Yeah.
I got 20 for you.
All right, let's get out of here. Where are you at this weekend? I'm home this weekend, finally.
I guess this is going to air afterwards, but this Friday I am going to be
I was at.
Tom Tran's spot Flappers. He has shown Flappers, and then right after that, Friday night 10:30, I'll be at
Well, announce your
Comedy
next
Chateau.
week's.
Next week. Oh yeah, we'll be at the what's the name?
I forgot.
House of Comedy, right? Is it House of Comedy?
I forgot.
Yeah, I think it's House of Comedy in Edmonton. It'll be my first time out there, so I'm excited. It'll be pretty fun. Got the merch lined up. So if y'all gonna be out in Canada, man, yeah, man, we're gonna have some fun times and jokes with you guys, bro.
I might have to hop on that because I ain't accepted at the house right now. So my rule means nothing. I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna go back on the road then. I'm going back on the road. So hey, I'm at House of Comedy.
Wait. Oh, are they putting us up, or I gotta
It's a
come on
condo.
up? Okay, cool.
2-bedroom.
I'm on hotel. Let me know.
No, it's a 2-bedroom condo.
I'm on the couch. It's better than being at home.
On the couch. Yeah, so my Bay Area show just got canceled, but I'm going to reschedule. The owner double booked. Edmonton, 19th through the 22nd, House of Comedy. Get your tickets for that if you're in Canada and you listen to this. And then after that, I think I'm taking another week off.
I'm on my honeymoon right after that.
Yeah.
So Jen and I go on our honeymoon. We're going to Jamaica.
Hey, congrats.
Are you inviting everybody?
Absolutely not, unless you
Okay.
niggas pay for your.
No,
own.
I'm just saying they
some
didn't need to know it.
I mean, yeah.
No,
if,
just
y'all,
fucking-
if y'all in Jamaica, say what's
Pull
up. to us.
pull up on our
Say what's
honeymoon. November 3rd and 4th, I'll be in Honolulu, Hawaii. Get your tickets for that. Some people said they already got the tickets. I was like, oh, okay, dope. And then November 9th, Atlanta. It's a one-nighter only. One-nighter at the Uptown. Get your tickets for that November 9th. All right, that's only a few weeks away. Get your tickets now.
Uptown.
One-nighter. Uptown.
Oh shit! This Sunday I'm at the Improv Lab.
There you go.
There we go. This Sunday Improv Lab. I think it's at like 7 or 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Who show is that?
Uh,
That's not my teen show, is it?
No, it's not my teen show. But yeah, so there we go.
All right.
All right, well, we out.
Peace.
Bye.